Trackmania has been out now for a little over 4 years, and in that time, the developers have made a lot of official tracks and set difficult author medal target times for the players to beat. But recently, a lot of these medals became much harder than the developers intended. A consequence of this game always receiving updates is that now if you play older tracks, you could be at a disadvantage. Boosters have changed a lot since 2020, so has ice, and some of these old Nadeo times are now at a godlike level. Today I'm going to try to beat the hardest author medals officially in the game and show you how you can do it as well if you want to fill out your page with gold and green. I am on my cousin's account, MufatTM, and we are going to scroll back here through Trackmania history until we hit the summer 2020 campaign. Believe it or not, in the very first campaign of this game, one of the hardest medals can be found, and it is on map number 10. So at a first glance here, this might not look that difficult. You have a world record of 37 seconds and an author medal of 41. But because of how very early on Nadeo realized they had a huge bug in the game, they updated how boosters work, and this one became much harder. It's actually been about 4 years since I last played this, so I do need to memorize it. But right here, you're coming from ice onto a booster. And in the past, if you had icy tires on a booster, this would give you an insane acceleration boost, which it now no longer does. If you look at old clips of this map, like, you would easily jump over this. I can take a look at the record and show you, but here, you are forced to go underneath at least one of the bridges, and the jump will not be clean. Taking a look at the record from Hefes here, you can see he goes up to about 541 speed up the booster, which is just unmatchable at this point. You will never jump this far after this change was made. So that is what you're going up against. Now, one update that does go in your favor, if you're trying to get this after the fact, is action keys. There were no action keys back in the day, and those actually make this a tiny bit easier, as you're going to try to do a no slide on the start here. I'm missing the first drop down, but the best strategy is to cut the first corner and then do a no slide across the sand and dirt afterwards. So here, you go even on the inside of this tree. You go here, and then you start a no slide, and I think it's probably action key 3 actually. And by no sliding through that corner, you can carry more speed than you would with sliding. Here, you want to build up as much speed as possible before the ice, and so this is already not a good run, but it is about 1 second faster. And you see my speed here, 436. Like, this was a bit slow, but it wasn't 100 speed worse. And then I have to release to go under the sign, and should be about a 43, I think. 43.13, still 1.5 seconds to go. And so this is, by all means, not a good time. Yeah, this is not a great run either, but we'll continue. Better speed here. Got to 5th gear before this wall. Important detail, and then I missed the exit a little bit. It's still 0.4 faster, but it's not fast enough to go over this hill, so we have to release to go under. Land here, and I get a 42, I guess 42.6. 42.4. By the way, don't hold up too long if you're going for these medals, because who knows when the physics might change again. Like, it's quite the miracle with how much speed you're losing here that this one is still beatable. You have 100 less speed for an entire uphill due to this change, and it's still just within reach. But yeah, quick tips if you're actually going for this medal. I know many viewers just watch, but if you're going for this, release here to land early and also set up for going across the sand with 4th gear preserved. That will have you accelerate more through this turn. Then stay for the most part on the road here. Try to get as little penalty grass as possible. Into the downhill. Try to get a line that goes into the curve and has you exiting here with good speed onto the booster. 7.1 more. It's not going to be fast enough, but it's damn close. It's damn close. We go again. This is very promising. If the turn is good and I have the speed. Oh, this might be it. I might make it here. Uh-oh. Could have almost PB'd here. The real tricky thing and the real fun thing about this is that it still works if you do a really good line here. So if you're able to land at the highest point here, you can actually jump into the downhill, which would be an auto win, I think. It does actually look like, though, from the split to that run, that it's possible without this fancy ending jump. I would actually bet that it is. So you can kind of pick which way you want to do it. Like, this is a very good entry. I slid a bit. I'm still gonna go for it. Uh-oh. Bad ending landing and we get a 41.7. 0.2 to go, guys. And this is taking me quite a while. Good. No. Even with a good entry here, minus 20 speed is minus 20 speed. Just... Oh, I say that though. This could work. Uh-huh. Does it land? Oh, it did, and it's 300ths too slow. So that is the strategy. I need one more improvement. Let's get it. Here. There we go, and then jump. Flat landing, gotta go left of this wall. And there we have it. Top 22,000 in the world, we get the author medal, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy to get. For example, if you compare to the run of So and Lenny here, you can maybe see how much this jump might gain. This looks like an old record based on the lines. And this is the level the author time would be at in the past. Like, you could drive, well, several seconds slower. And then you would be bailed out by this booster, which you now no longer have. Like, here, it looks like I'm crushing. I'm so far ahead. But then here, he gets up to 500 speed and will time my time to the 1000th by landing in this downhill as well with even more speed. So, world record here, unbeatable. Author time still up for grabs, but you gotta be willing to put some time into it. Now let's go to the next map. All right, guys, we are going from summer 2020 map 10 to winter 2021 map 10. This is actually a bit of a remake of the previous one that we just played, which features similar themes like driving on roads without penalty, surfaces and whatnot. But it also has the exact same booster problem at the ending, where the developers placed a booster that they later updated, and you just don't get the same amount of speed anymore as you did on the original. So, author time 45.20, and here you go towards the last jump up this hill. You have icy tires, same thing, booster, and you're supposed to jump over this entire scenery area and land down in a downhill, and you just do not get close to the speed anymore. Now, the world record from Aragon, just to see the speed that we're lacking, he has 530, and with relative ease just jumps all the way over, lands so far down the hill. That's not possible anymore, and the author time is only 3.5 seconds slower than him. So we have our work cut out for us. Now, if you want to beat this one, I do remember the lines somewhat. You will have to no slide on the start. On the other map, it was sort of optional. Here, it's really not. You need to no slide on the first dirt. You need a lot of speed coming into this ice. And then the idea is to not steer so much on the curves. Just go normal here, quite sharp down. If you get a smooth low line here, this is the opposite. Yeah, low line through here. And then since you're not jumping over, you don't need to think about speed. You're gonna jump under and as close to the sign as you can. Then you just straighten out for the finish, and you can see that this run would have been a 47, 2 seconds behind. This is quite a tough auto time. I think it might be harder than the other one, but we'll see. There's also a small release here. I remember this now. This is the first campaign that had ranked in it. And I remember playing so many matches on these maps in this campaign. And that this one was particularly fun with a lot of close rounds because it's a quite simple map to survive on. So you'd often have snipes on the last jump and such. Here we go, last jump. I'm going to go a little bit under. This almost over tilts, I think. Yeah. Still survived. And it is a 46-7, which already beats 85% of players. So still time to gain here. I'm using action key 4 in the start and just trying to not slide. I release just before shifting the gear. I speed slide here. Try to hit only a little bit of the sand. And then go out here and drift wide. And now hopefully I can... Yeah, this is better. Still not perfect, but much better. The speed here carries for so long. But that road turn is the most important to get right. This is a better jump too, so I should gain more here, and I'll also gain here. So it's looking like a 45.8, 45.9 maybe. 45.8. Now 0.6 of a second to go on top of that again. Oh, that was faster while hitting grass because I had so much momentum before. Nice. It's a good jump. This could be it. Whew. Certainly going to be close. Is it enough? Would be fun to get it already. 45.20. 45.26. So close. Advice for this one summarized: make sure you don't slide on the start. Release a bit here. Try to speed slide. Try to hit the road timing. Only getting a little bit of sand. Speed slide again. Land into an auto drift to the right. Hold brake to start it. Then get as much road as you can here. I still hit too much grass. Up high. Get a smooth curve. Keep the speed with smooth up and down hills there. Low jump here, and now you just need to nail this jump under the sign as low as you can go. This is a bit too much off the acceleration, and yeah, it's this type of run, but I will need to do one more. Shouldn't take too long. Silly, silly me. Getting too fancy. Oh, this is nice. Okay, this is very nice. Here. Smooth, sharp now. Even without going too close here, if I just time this right. Oh. This should be it. This should be the second of the hard old author times here. 45.08, only beating it by 1200ths, and I was driving pretty clean. So let me show you this. Like, this is the difference in quality of a run you used to need versus one that you need now. So myself and Kronos here on new patch, and Hangway on old patch. And you can see that he is chilling. He is just going on a tour, just eating his lunch while driving, I think. One-handed. Setting up, flying over this with the increased booster speed of the past, and then also landing with way more speed on the downhill and getting all the way back. That's the second map. Let's do one more, and probably the hardest one. Guys, the last map I want to show you is Spring 2021 24, a map that has one of the funniest and most clear examples of physics changes, where this is the start. And it looks quite clean when you drive it now. But if you compare this to the world record, on a press forward start, you just lose about 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. And so the time that you need becomes a lot faster. Like, already from the get-go, you're just at a massive disadvantage. If I turn on the top 2 ghosts here, there's just no contest. What just happened? And so the author medal gets that start too, and so you need to compete against it. So that's what we're doing. Let's see how long this takes. I'll give you the best I can of tips and tricks. So obviously on the start, you want to air brake to get the full booster, and I think you can almost release as well. Okay, actually hitting the broccoli is probably the best, but yeah. Then you have this grass jump, and then there's a downhill into something. It's been 3 years since I played this, so forgive me if I don't remember the route. It takes it's a while. It's up here, some jump onto reactor and to the right. And then a flight. This map was pretty sick. And the scenery at the time as well. They didn't have that many blocks yet to use in the campaign, so for what they had, this is pretty good. Sharp turn. Oh, it was to cut across the grass. Yeah, this got pretty dank very quickly. 180 drift here, in between. Quantum slide. Outside line. Oh, was this turn outside? I think it was. And then grass wall ride into a drop down there. Speed slide. Speed slide. And jump. And this is a 119. We need 6 seconds faster. And I did make some small mistakes, but not too big, so it is going to be quite difficult. I would recommend going out on the right on the start. And then you can gear up before this drop down, which makes you carry a lot more speed. So speed sliding on the grass to get that is important. Don't jump to the left where I did. But yeah, here, if you speed slide through the checkpoint here, you can get gear 5, and then you just land with so much more speed here. And now look, this is an important part of getting good time here. Small drift tap, or I think the world record might even release. And then you want to jump directly up here, just get a little bit of the reactor and keep going. Now there is a hover boost trick there. You can get a small boost, a zoop. Not necessary, I don't think. Remember here, you kind of just YOLO. I don't remember the exact line. If you go around, yeah, I think it is around here and then through. I want to give you the best advice I can, but I don't actually remember. Up there. Let's get this one and go. Line up wide so you can go close around the mountain. Then go wide across here and then send it through here. Try to get as much grass as you can. I just picked the path that would lead to survival there. I didn't really see what I was doing. Through here. Try to get no air time. And I think we're gonna end up with a 115 here. Maybe 114. But because this track is a bit longer, it does give you more time to catch up to the time deficit if you're able to make use of it. It's also just a hard track to survive, so if that's something that you struggle with, then of course this one is going to be a bit harder. But adding another 2 seconds on top of an auto time that, you know, less than 10% of the players have, is quite hard. So this is not what they wanted to happen, but here you have it. And this is what you need to do. You need to drive exceptionally clean. Oh, that's too fast. Compared to in the past. I think 3 already. Point 5. Try to stay flat here before you jump. Like, don't do any crazy steering movement before the jump, or else your car will fly in an awkward way with the reactor. It's a good piece of advice. Drift here so you can set up for this one. Go through, try to hit the grass, go through. Get off the outside dirt early so you can go through here. Wait for the gears on the grass there, very important actually, for the end speed. And this should be enough. Just barely though. Oh, I didn't know you can overjump the finish. You absolutely can, watch out. 1:13:37. Let's compare with Captain Meow and Zoino CS. Okay, so Zoino had the speed boost and we did not. Clear gap here shown. Captain Meow with better lines than I could do, but he doesn't get the 5th gear, and look at the time lost. Definitely something to pay attention to. Then here I'm curious. Oh, he does not drift, and yeah, you can see that's faster actually. Then making sure you don't fly off the map. Stay flat here. Good, good policy. And here, oh, he almost went too wide, but he saves it. And here, wide setup will give you a good drift with a lot of speed across the grass. And here it's important that you don't stay on the outside too long. You can already start cutting towards the left, hit this corner and jump across, get the booster. And on to this, it's very important that you don't eat the gear into the wall ride. You can speed slide. I had a lot of speed. I was going to beat both of these players, but watch out in the end. Captain Meow does a release and gets the tie. Actually, there's one more I want to show you because this is one that people struggle with, and I don't really think it should be an official track. But if you ever venture into the training campaign, which please don't, you'll find this map with an extremely hard auto time. I did not beat it first try. And what you have to do is go a bit out to the right. Wait for the first gear, steer a bit left, wait for the second gear. Straighten out, and then you get it. But this one is also one of the hardest author medals. Just because they decided to put it in a spot where you basically need to do 2 perfect turns in a snap to get it. But honestly, this entire training campaign, it's a topic for another video. They have to change this thing. You will not learn anything if you play it. But maybe you learn some game mechanics if you go for these hard author medals. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you might get these medals now. Bye bye everybody, take care, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon.